Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we're going to look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it, the concept being that there are three sides to every story. So we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section is looking at what is the deeper purpose of this connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, the whole reading can be reversed, especially if you're a cross watcher. So just know that that's totally fine and totally normal if that is the case for you. And just take what helps, leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Pisces, let's jump on in. Let's see what you guys are dealing with. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's start, Pisces, with your side of this connection. Let's see here. This is for Pisces side of this connection triggered. Oh, goodness. Okay. Romance, breakups, and makeups. Okay. And you have passion here. I feel like the feelings for this person are really strong. There's absolutely no doubt about that with the romance and the passion card. But it also feels like this connection makes you feel as many good feelings as it does like difficult feelings. So it's like, you have these strong feelings for them, but then it's also, kind of has a tendency to trigger you in a lot of ways, whether it's your anger, your frustration, or I don't know. It's like, I feel like the intensity of this connection just causes you to feel a lot of highs and a lot of lows. Now, this breakups and makeups card, this could be something that has been a bit of a theme in your connection with this person. Maybe there's this, something that happens and there's the separation, but then you eventually kind of get drawn back together with them. I do feel like this breakups and makeups card also can represent some sort of a cycle, something that is repeating, that is trying to teach you something on a deeper level. But I do ultimately feel like it's hard because I do feel like the feelings that you have for this person are really, really strong, which when we have strong feelings for someone, it can kind of not cloud our judgment. Like, sure, maybe, yeah, that's the case, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. Like, it can make it hard for us to decide or figure out like what really is best for us, especially if we see a lot of potential in a connection or in a person. So what is this person's energy toward Pisces? I could also see this person being good at romance too. So like being good at saying all the right things or like doing all of the right things and, kind of having a tendency to keep you drawn to them. That could be something too. This person's energy toward Pisces. Oh, they have the same breakups and makeups card. So I do feel like this is a cycle that you've been in with this person. There's a lot of like, something that happens kind of creates separation, distance, not like actually breaking up. Sure, that could be the case, but then eventually kind of getting drawn back together. It's very much a roller coaster ride kind of energy here. This person's energy toward Pisces, divine timing. Synchronicity. I was about to say divine protection. So there is some divine protection at play, but what is this person's energy toward Pisces? Like, why? Boundaries. Okay, there's something going on here in this reading. It feels like this person is very, the wild card and then unfinished business here, very unpredictable. their energy is very unpredictable. It's like you never really know how they're going to act or like what they're going to do or how they're going to show up. And I feel like it really keeps you on edge because like obviously you're hoping for the romance side of them or the side that brings out the good feelings and not the side that brings out the not so good feelings. But it's like you never know what you're going to get. So it might leave you, walking on eggshells or like feeling like you're walking on eggshells or like tiptoeing around them or like holding back how you really feel because like you're afraid of their reaction or you just like don't want the conflict, especially if this person is very reactive. But this is interesting. There is something going on here with the synchronicity and divine timing card. This boundaries card, I feel like this person has a tendency to really keep people out. They really keep people at a distance, and I feel like that has been the case with you too. But I don't know. This divine timing with synchronicity card is interesting because that's very much like divine protection. Divine timing is at play in your love life. Truth of this connection between Pisces and this person. I feel like this person has a tendency to be very in and out of your life. And that inconsistency, I feel like, has been affecting you. There's the growth. Ooh, it's manipulation, too. Every connection that we are in, soulmate recognition, okay, yeah, with the trap, that's what makes things so hard. Every connection that we're in gives us an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to self-reflect, an opportunity to show up better. But it becomes a problem when only one person in the connection is really doing that growth and that self-reflection. This manipulation card is kind of giving me an iffy energy about this person, about how they're acting and where things are at. But this soulmate recognition card, I feel like, is what makes things really hard. I feel like you really feel like this person, like you are connected to them on a soul level. Like I feel like you really have a connection to this person that's very below the surface, which probably means that it just kind of feels like you can't get away from it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to, but it's just like, I feel like you're so deeply connected to this person that it makes it really hard for you to know like what, and I said this at the beginning, like what is the best thing for you to do, especially because I do feel like you see a huge amount of potential here. But this manipulation card, it is giving me like Spirit's got a warning for you kind of vibe about this person and about this connection. And I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what that is yet. Because seeing the manipulation with this divine timing and synchronicity card, that synchronicity card always kind of gives me, especially because the number on it is 44. If I see it, I don't see it right now, but the number on it is 44. And I feel like that, that's always divine protection, universe has your back kind of energy. So there's something going on here, but I don't know what it is. And this doesn't necessarily, remember, these don't have to be romantic connections. These can be many different forms of connections, friends, family members. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, I know you have romance here, but that could be, I feel like interpreted in so many different ways. Like, I feel like that's really talking about kind of the good feelings that you have for this person, the love and the good parts. Because there are good parts. Like, I don't feel like this is all bad by any means. In fact, I feel like there's a lot of good, which is what makes it difficult. Because it keeps you on that roller coaster. Okay, overall theme of this reading for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know about this connection? triggers, okay? We have the triggers and the triggered card. So it's obvious that this person has this person pokes. I am their light with unlocked potentials. I feel like you are, or you try to be, a light for this person. Someone who guides them, someone who helps them in some way. This unlocked potentials card is, I feel like, what I'm kind of seeing with the soulmate recognition card. Like, you very, very clearly see the potential on this connection, all that this could be. But for some reason, it feels like this connection struggles to reach that potential. I don't know why. I feel like for some reason I'm getting the feeling that this is going to make more sense later on, which is not usually the case. Usually I'm able to kind of understand how this is all put together right away, but I feel like this is going to make sense later on for some reason. So I'm going to come back to those. But let's start, Pisces, with your side. You have romance with triggered. Pisces side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. They're needing to learn the most from right now. Comes together and it falls apart. It comes together, it falls apart. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Comes together and it's promising and oh my gosh, things are improving, and then it falls apart. That's what I'm getting from this. World in reverse. Well, I feel like that actually would have been upright. It's giving kind of the energy of a cycle. 5 of Cups. I mean, damn, Pisces. I feel like you are constantly left, especially I feel like as of maybe the time that you're watching this, like where your energy stands right now, there's a lot of disappointment and sadness and grief associated with where things are at in this connection, especially because those good feelings are so strong. Okay, you could be dealing with an earth sign. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And I say that because I see the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom, and then you have the King of Pentacles here too. I feel like this is them. King of Pentacles with the 7 of Pentacles here. I feel like you, you've invested a lot into this person and into this connection. And I feel like you had certain expectations, like anyone does in connections. Expectations and connections aren't a bad thing. Unrealistic expectations can be, but I don't feel like your expectations were unrealistic. I feel like what you were looking for out of this connection is what you ultimately deserve. But I feel like this connection, for some reason, had a tendency to poke at kind of a lot of, I don't know if like deeper wounding is the right word, but like to poke at some things that were like deep within you. Like this connection has a tendency to affect you and trigger you and get a reaction out of you more than other connections have in the past. And I feel like that has a lot to do with the potential that you do see here. Is I feel like you see that potential for what this connection could be, and that provides you with a lot of hope and promise for like your love life, or for finally being able to get what you deserve or desire. And when this person acts a certain way, it feels like that potential is getting taken away from you, almost as if it's like the universe dangled it in front of your face and it was like, haha, just kidding, you can't have it, which is not what happened. But I feel like that's what this feels like. This Devil card here, I feel like this person, and with the Moon, I feel like this person has a tendency to bring out the best in you. I feel like they have a tendency to bring out the not so good in you. And I feel like that has a lot to do with the triggering that's happening. So it's interesting to see how this is laid out, because that, like, the flip-flop, come together, fall apart, come together, fall apart, the emotional roller coaster that I feel like this has really kept you on for, I feel like, a long time. It has, I feel like, more to do with how you guys, like, these energies, like, affect each other. it's obvious that like with the Seven of Pentacles is about commitment to me. So I see that in like in terms of like loyalty. Like it feels, Pisces, like you've been very loyal, very committed to this connection, to this person. Like even when they were driving you crazy, I feel like you were still very committed to it. Like, let's work this out. Like, let's figure this out. Let's try to, make this happen. And it feels like you constantly were left feeling very disappointed and feeling very let down by them and by their behavior and by their reaction or the things that they did. And I feel like that then triggered you to, kind of dip into, I guess that shadow side, triggered your shadow side. We all have a light and shadow side. Our shadow side is that unhealed, kind of traumatized version of us, which tends to come out when we are very triggered. When we feel unloved or we feel undervalued or we feel not good enough. And if you're dealing with someone who has a tendency to make you feel that way, of course, it's going to bring out that side of you. But I feel like there's always a purpose when our shadow is being brought to the light. It's always trying to show us not that we are unlovable, because I know it can feel like that sometimes, but that there are still parts of ourselves that we're needing to love. And sometimes we really meet that version of ourselves through other people kind of bringing it out in us. But I do feel like this has been a challenge for you. Because again, there's so much that you see, so much potential that you see, so much good that you see in this person and in this connection. And I feel like you want that so bad, like all that this could be, but it just feels like it's like you can never quite get there. Like it always falls apart or something always happens or I don't know. It just feels like you're consistently feeling very let down here. All right. Let's see what we've got in this person's energy. Because I am intrigued. All right, this person's energy toward you, Pisces, because of that divine timing. It's like, I still come back. Like, Spirit has a warning for you about this connection in a way. This person's energy toward you, Pisces. More. I haven't forgotten about these cards. We're still going to come back to them, but nothing's clicked yet. Queen of Swords in reverse. This person is so closed off. So closed off. Sometimes even comes across as a little bit cruel. Cold, not cruel. I didn't mean to say cruel. Maybe. But cold. Cold was what I meant there. Queen of Swords in reverse with the Devil. It's like you guys have a tendency to bring out, or like this person has a tendency to kind of bring out your, I don't want to, like your toxic side, which is again is your shadow side. We've all got toxic patterns, toxic behaviors, toxic things, okay? It's not unique to specific people. We've all got that side of us. It's just about how much we allow that side to control us. But sometimes people bring that out in us. Like it happens. Like, especially if we deal with it for a long enough period over time, like eventually you're going to react. So what the heck? Okay. 9 of Wands. 3 of Wands in reverse. 9 of Swords. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't know it. But this person is deeply insecure. No, okay, that's in reverse too. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. And then the 5 of Wands. This person is deeply insecure. And their insecurities, I feel like, that's what causes them to get really cold here. Okay. This is what I tend to label as like a difficult person. And when I talk about difficult people, What I mean by that is people who are not aware of themselves, don't have emotional intelligence, like struggle to take accountability, like just things that, oftentimes can get labeled as narcissists, things like that. I'm not here to say that they're one thing or another or to diagnose anybody, okay? But this is what I would label as a difficult person, because it feels like no matter what you do, it feels like they always have a problem with it. Like, not in the sense that they don't see any value in you. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But it feels like you have a lot of goodness, Pisces. You have a big heart. And I feel like you bring up certain feelings in them that makes them feel like almost inferior to you. Like feeling like they're not good enough. Like the way that your light shines triggers this person's feelings of like, I'm not good enough. And it's nothing that you do. It's just like who you are. I feel like, and that happens like when we're comfortable with being ourselves and we're authentic. We tend to trigger people who are not comfortable with themselves, who aren't, authentic. So then they'll project on us and they'll try to pull us down or make us feel bad or whatever the case is. And I feel like there might have been some of that in this connection, almost like you show up with, all of this love and this capacity to love, big heart, all of that. And it's almost like this person doesn't know what to do with that energy, because I feel like they struggle to see themselves in the way that like you see them. And so those insecurities come out, those kind of fear-driven behaviors come out, which is where people can start to be cruel or cold or manipulative or just not good to us. But sometimes when we have a lot of empathy for other people, we tend to see them through the lens of that empathy, so much so that we forget to have empathy for ourselves and the process, because it feels like this person, I don't feel like they mean to hurt you. I don't feel like that's their intention. I don't feel like they're just straight up out to affect you in a negative way. I really don't. I feel like they have a lot of unhealthy and toxic patterns and behaviors that cause them to respond in really unhealthy ways. And that is obviously going to trigger you, because you're going to start to, especially if like they're doing certain things or saying certain things to like, it's like they're trying to pull you down with them. It's weird, because I feel like you're trying to shine your light, give all this love. That's very uncomfortable and triggering to this person. So they're like, well, let me try to bring you down to my level. Which is what happens when people don't feel good about who they are. They feel like they have to bring other people down to meet them, because it's like, well, I can't get to where this person is, when they would have to heal and take accountability and grow and do the uncomfortable work. But it feels like where they're at right now is they're very stuck in their ways. They're very stuck in like their unhealthy, kind of like toxic is the word that really comes to mind, ways. And it's because of their insecurities. Now, when you're dealing with difficult people, a lot of times you don't know that they're insecure, because their whole thing is to not let people see who they really are. So but you, I feel like, have the ability to really see through this person. And oh my gosh, this makes sense now. I knew it would. So you had unlocked potentials. I am their light with triggers, right? I feel like you were trying to be a light for this person. You were trying to be somebody who loved them and cared for them and got them to see that this relationship was safe, that you were a safe person. But it feels like it's almost like they're so like the way that I picture it is like they're so stone. They've been covered by stone, like that they like it like reflects the light. Like it's like it doesn't touch them because they're pushing it away so hard. But I feel like that's because of the ways in which they feel not good enough to receive it. It's not that what you have to give isn't enough. It's not that you are not valuable. It's not that you don't have wonderful energy. It feels like this person is so deeply unhealed that they're not allowing themselves to be open to the love that you have to give. Now, that's obviously going to be very triggering for you because especially if you care about them so much, you're like, man, but this could be so good if you would just, do these things, if you would let me love you. And ultimately, learn to give and receive love in a healthy way. That's that potential, that unlocked potentials that you see. So it feels like the dynamic here is understanding that, how other people, or what this dynamic is trying to get you to understand is that how other people act or treat you, it's not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of your value. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's not even a reflection of what is possible for you. What it is a reflection of is this is trying to teach you to love yourself more than you love the people in your life. And not to the extent where it's screw other people's needs, but to the extent where it's, the goal is to love others well without harming, or to love yourself well without harming others, and to love others well without harming yourself. And I feel like the commitment and love that you give to this person ends up being harmful to you because you're constantly let down by the energy that they show up with, even though you see that potential in them. But the way that they're acting has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. It's almost like, and I say this with the Five of Wands, like this person's at war with themselves. But it's like you try to come in and you try to help them fight that war, and then you end up a casualty in that. So this is, I feel like, incredibly complicated, and there's so much here, but it feels like Spirit has this warning for you almost to not let your light be dimmed by people who aren't capable of standing in their own, and to allow yourself to keep shining your light, and maybe remove it sometimes from people that, that do try to dim it, or not remove your light, but like to, pull back your energy a little bit to create distance to protect yourself whenever because people can only see your light to the extent that they see their own. Like for me, before I did a lot of healing, I would only ever see the bad in people. And it's because I was deeply insecure and I needed to see bad in other people to make myself feel better. Like I can be completely honest about this now because I had to get honest about it to heal, but also because I think a lot of people do struggle with this in a lot of ways. When we don't like ourselves, we are going to automatically see what we don't like about others. And it's interesting because I used to be very critical of other people in my life. And I learned that it was actually just me being critical of myself. And that's where I really started to understand that how other people treat us, what other people see in us, it has nothing to do with us. And if someone is trying to pull you down or make you feel bad or dim your light, it's not coming from this place of trying to harm you. It's coming from this place of them being unable to love themselves, to stand in their own light, to where you trigger within them these feelings of them realizing that they're not standing in their light the way that they need to, that there are things that need to be healed and addressed. But if all of this is happening subconsciously, they're going to be very reactive and they're just going to kind of do what they need to like push you away and not have to deal with any of those feelings at all. So I feel like if this connection did or does, end in separation, knowing that I feel like Spirit's trying to protect you from somebody who quite literally isn't capable of loving you in the way that you deserve, of treating you like you deserve. So, trying to take a look at that and taking your power back a little bit instead of being like, well, what can I do to make this person love me? Or what can I do to make this person, accept the love that I have to give? And the honest answer to that is that there's nothing you can do. You can love yourself in the ways that you're looking to be loved. You can love yourself just as much as you love this person. And that's ultimately going to lead you to the love that you deserve, whether it's in them or not, or somebody who's more capable of meeting you where you deserve to be met. But I know that's hard. In between this connection, you have manipulation with soulmate recognition. We're going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, looking at the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Thank you so much, Pisces, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Pisces.